Hey, welcome. I'm Dash, and this is going to be a tutorial on how to run this game if you're new. Some things you need to know before starting. This is patch 1.1.1 currently. That means that some of the glitches you might have seen in other runs, if you've seen other runs before, some of those glitches you might have seen, they're all patched out. And what those glitches are, I don't know. I'll tell you. I would probably have to show you later. Some other things you need to know is if you go to gameplay options, be sure to disable event scenes and tutorial. Obviously, for obvious reasons, just turn them off. The game over shop, I would recommend turning this on. Well, for now at least. Some people play with the game over shop off, but I would keep it on, because if you're starting off and you end up dying somewhere in the run, the game over shop will have a shovel, torch, and even a heart container for you to have in case you die. So yeah, it's good to have this on. Alright, so as far as the actual run, this tutorial is going, we're going to be running story mode. And story mode, I feel, is a great start for beginners, because it kind of teaches everything you need to know, and especially if you want to branch out into other categories, then you'll at least know what you're doing when doing so. Except for 100%. If you want to do 100%, then I would recommend asking around on the Discord for information about that, because I don't know much about 100%. Speaking of, if you aren't already, you should join the Discord. We have an awesome community for both Cadence of Hyrule and Crypt of the Necrodancer. If you're a fan of that and maybe want to run that as well. Yeah, I feel Cadence of Hyrule is a great introduction to Crypt of the Necrodancer running if you aren't already a Necrodancer runner. I'm gonna go into new game, and we're gonna do story mode. So, whenever you're starting, you might notice, and I'm gonna show you. You might notice the timer hasn't started yet in the bottom left. That is because the timer doesn't actually start until you wake up somebody. So who do you want to wake up? You're gonna always want to wake up Zelda, and the reason being is our ability, Neru's Love. If you tap it, it reflects all damage back to enemies that are going to attack you on that same beat. And the following beat, you're protected, so you won't take damage. So it's really powerful. Also, her unique weapon, the rapier, you can lunge to the tile in front of you, and it will deal +1 damage. So yeah, you're probably never going to use Link in an actual run. So you're going to have to just get used to Zelda. Alright, so again, timer hasn't started yet until we wake up Zelda, so now timer has started. So you just get this dagger, talk to input, get the telescope, which will allow you to see the map further. And you're going to be headed into outside of Zelda's room. So there's a torch in this little wall right here. You can get this, but I recommend not getting it, because one, it will just waste time, and enemies will have a high chance of dropping a torch if you don't already have one. Alright, that's Neru's Love right there, and this pot will always have a bomb. Alright, so that Deku is guarding those rupees. Buying stuff is very essential for running Cadence of Hyrule, so you're gonna want as much money as you can get. So to get this Deku efficiently, you just want to do this. That's how you kill off that Deku, like, really easy. Alright, so right here, we're gonna be sure to touch the stone, and I'm gonna be showing you a little technique we like to call bleed loops. This is the reason we do this, is so you're basically checking the map and moving at the same time. And how to do that is basically you have to move, pause, unpause, and move all to the beat of the music. So it's like this. Yeah, and if you're not comfortable doing that, then you don't have to. But after you get a few runs in without doing it, I highly recommend you start getting comfortable doing so, because it saves more time moving and checking the map rather than staying still for a second and just checking where everything is. Alright, so now we're going to be moving on to routing. And routing, so when routing, you want to find very important locations. Like those locations being dungeons, obviously, Kakariko Crypt, obviously. But then we move on to stuff like the Goron Shop. The Goron Shop is going to be important for a skip I'm going to talk about later. And there's also some pretty important, there's also some locations where there's a guaranteed drop for keys. And you're going to want a lot of keys when running. Like you want to have a lot and save at least 3 for when you head into Hyrule Castle. So, and I can kind of recognize right away that this is going to be the Wisdom Fountain, which has a guaranteed Torch of Wisdom, which Torch of Wisdom is the most powerful torch you can have for speedrunning. And it allows you to see any item that's hidden on the map or in dungeons as well. It allows you to see what's inside of chests, so you can know if you want to go out of your way to get something or not. And I can also kind of notice right here, this is where Kakariko Crypt is. How I can tell, it's kind of our technique. Whenever you get used to routing for a while, you start to notice some things. And I'll be linking a description. I'll be linking in the description the video made by Rat Racing, who kind of elaborates more on this. Like Rat Racing's videos in general are pretty good to look at and pretty good resources. I highly recommend checking those out. Alright, so you also want, whenever running, you also want to touch stones. So whenever you find the loot, which is your fast travel method, whenever you find that, that's pretty good for it's pretty good for just warping back to location instead of walking all the way over there. Alright, so this Kakariko Crypt right now. I don't have the loot yet, so I'm not gonna do the crypt. You really don't want to go for the crypt whenever you don't have a loot. You don't want to go for the crypt because that's gonna be time wasted for whenever you beat the boss, and you have to walk all the way back, and it's just time wasted. Alright, so here we have Windmill Hut. Windmill Hut, there are a few ways you can do this, but one, you don't have to ever do this puzzle. This puzzle is completely unnecessary, and you won't ever have to do it. So there are several ways you can do this. You can, if you have a power glove, you can just pick this up and walk past this point, but I don't have one yet. You can also solve the puzzle like this. And there's a war drum right here. I'll just take that. And there's also one more way you can get past this puzzle if you want to do it like quickly and don't have a power glove. All you gotta do is place a bomb right here, left, up, and up again, and you'll bomb boost into this little spot, and you can just go in. But if you bomb boost, there's some guaranteed hearts in here, so you just pick those up and heal up. And I'm gonna actually go into Temple of Storms now to just, well, actually no, I don't have any bombs. I want to show you whenever I have bombs, which I don't have them right now. Okay, so I can kind of see that Lost Woods and Gerudo is going to be like all the way on the other side, so it's going to be more walking. Whenever you get unfortunate spawns like this, it just happens. However, there is a loot location. There is a loot location up here, which I will be collecting now. If you ever get in a situation, you have to know where all the locations where you can get the loot. So I can just go in here in this little Cadence cave, and I'll be able to grab the loot easily. So now I can warp, and I'm gonna go head down. Alright, so right here we're in front of the castle. I accidentally missed a beat. So whenever you're in front of the castle, most of the time you're gonna want to clear out all these enemies. and I did that because it clears out that slime faster. Alright, so the reason why you want to clear out all these enemies is because it will send you into fixed beat mode, and whenever you teleport back here, that means that instead of like going into a beat mode where you have to go along to the beat, you can just move freely instead of just going along to the beat, and obviously that's faster. There is a guaranteed bomb shoot right here, which I was gonna show you something, but I realized I don't have a power glove yet, so I can't show you. So I will show you later. So right here we're gonna be getting the flippers outside of the frozen grotto. So if you haven't gotten this on your casual playthrough, I completely don't blame you at all. I completely missed this on my first run as well. So one of these guys are fake, and to get the flippers you have to kill the fake guy. To tell that easily, just whichever one doesn't have a shadow, you have to attack it. So this one doesn't have a shadow, so I'll just bomb this and use Nero's Love to quickly reflect that and get the flippers. And now with that, you can swim, collect this little stone. And I forgot I had the Shovel of Courage. Shovel of Courage is a pretty fast shovel you want to have. Alright, so yeah, I just teleported back here, and I'm gonna fix beat mode so I can just easily walk. So right here, this is a guaranteed key drop right here. The way I kind of remember this location is just, you know, C for key. Yeah. And again, you're gonna want to memorize a lot of locations for where the keys are, so you can just kind of you already know that chest will have it, and you can go out your way to get it. Down here is a poison swamp. I now recognize that because there was that little huge circle right here, and down here is going to be the Goron shop, which I will explain to you why that's important. And once I reach there, to be right there. You can easily just walk through this poison swamp, and you'll only lose a heart and a half. Alright, so right here in this Goron shop, it's going to have a very important item called the Goron Locket, which allows you to not take and burn damage from environments. This is going to be important for a skip later, but I don't have the money to get this. So there's some ways you can get this. There's ways you can get this either with money, or you can use a coupon, which if you don't know what a coupon is, basically you have to murder Freddy to get it. And again, I'll be showing you that later once I reach there. Alright, so I can tell, like, excuse me, Lost Woods is right here, so I have to head over here, and Gerudo is going to be in this top corner. Yeah, just checking the map just to see where everything is, so I can usually know where I'm going. That's why the little bleep loops are important. Alright, so I'm gonna ask, I don't need to touch this Sheikah Stone because I already have the loop. I'm gonna touch it anyway. And inside this Cadence cave is Din's Fire. Now, Din's Fire is not necessary at all. You're probably not going to ever use this, like, because it's kind of slow, and all the explosion stuff that you need are only just bombs. Alright, so right here is Lost Woods. So in Lost Woods, you can travel Lost Woods without ever needing the guy without ever using this item you get from Tingle. Usually the game does provide a way for you to find out where you're going with the Tingle's item. However, there is a way you can navigate. So, as you probably noticed, all of these enemies were blue, except for one. This little purple mushroom right here. Wherever the unique wherever the unique enemy is, that is where you're gonna want to go to find your way out of Lost Woods. So the unique enemy is up here, so the correct way is going to be up, and the unique enemy here is also up, so just go up and up again, and after the moblins, then we'll make it to the end. He's down there. Alright, so about mini bosses right outside of dungeons, you're gonna usually want to always fight those because they'll sometimes drop some really good items. Like here, it dropped a glass broadsword, which also, in terms of glass, you usually don't want to ever use your glass unless you're on a boss fight or if you're in Dark World. Of course, you can also just use glass to just fight off enemies faster, but that's more the experience side, and I wouldn't recommend running glass if you're running this game because chances are you're gonna lose it very quickly. Alright, so we're gonna be headed to Gerudo now. Gerudo's gonna be on the top right. Top left. See, I got lead boots from this Dyra, which can be good in some situations, which I'll explain later. Alright, so this is the Wisdom Fountain. So this will drop a Torch of Wisdom, which, like I said, is the most powerful torch you can have. Alright, so sometimes the game will do this to where like it kind of messes with you in terms of how the generation is laid out. All I can say is just try to work your way around it. I dropped more iron boots. Yeah, this is kind of unfortunate right now. Well, okay, well now I'm kind of glad that this guy dropped his lead boots. Yeah, watch out for likes in Gerudo, because likes will kind of screw you over. If you have something good, then you just get that item eaten up by the like very easily. Also, watch out for statues as well. I wasn't paying attention and saw that statue. You can tell if a statue is about to explode if you see the eye just slowly open up when you're close to it. And when you're next to it, it will just explode. You can attack it to prevent it from exploding if you can't go away. Alright, so head to Gerudo Town. So the entrance will always be on the side. Do not ever try to enter Gerudo Town from the bottom or top, depending on its location, because that will not be the location of how to enter. Okay, so here you can get a power glove, and now you have to memorize this pattern because it's much faster to just memorize the pattern than just hit that play button and see what the pattern is, because the pattern will always be the same. So it's green, yellow, light blue, dark blue. The pattern will always be that same color combination. Alright, after you get the power glove, just head on over to this side of, or it doesn't matter what side you enter, or maybe it does. I always enter from this side. Alright, go. Actually I'm gonna keep that. I think Shovel of Courage is better than Battle Shovel here. Alright, so if you don't have a loot yet, and you enter Gerudo, look at the banners. If the banner is green, that's not where you want to go. Also, oops, I need to pull this. Because the red banner will be where the Cadence cave is. Also, okay, so this blue chest right here, this blue chest is guaranteed to be a titanium dagger. So whenever you're up here, always remember to get this titanium dagger up here because that's where you want to get your guaranteed damage. Alright, so before I head into anywhere else, I want to show you some things with Temple of Storms. Alright, so Temple of Storms. There's a way you can skip. There's a shortcut to where you can skip to Temple of Storms without having to go through anything else. So one method you can do is pull the slab and pull this, and if you go up here, then this will despawn the fan or the turbine or whatever, and you can easily just walk through without any worries. Also, I did have lead boots, so what I could also do is I could just straight up just walk through without being pushed at all, since lead boots ignore wind. There's also a bomb boost method. Not that bomb boost method. There's also a bomb boost method where you can go past this, the wind, but since I'm at half a heart anyway, I can't show you. Well, never mind. Alright, there's also some hover. That's really convenient. These hover boots being right here, so I can show you another skip that's going to be used later. Also, if you come here with lead boots, then you won't be able to go up this fan. But don't worry, because there's guaranteed greaves up here, so you don't have to worry about that. Alright, so before we move on, I'm going to actually go into Kakariko Crypt so we can just get this out of the way. I was hoping those power boots wouldn't be there, so I wouldn't have to drop my hover boots. I guess for the sake of showing you, I guess I'll skip those power boots. So I want to show you a skip. Alright, so right here we have a key, we have power boots, and we obviously can't afford both of them. So if you ever find items that you want and you can't afford, you can place a bomb right here and attack Freddy. Now Freddy does deal a lot of damage, so be careful, especially when you're on 3 hearts. And he also has a crossbow attack, so watch out for his crossbow as well. Alright, so I'm going to collect all this, and here's the coupon I was talking about. So with this coupon, you can get any shop item for free. However, if you get a coupon, be sure to ditch it as soon as possible before going into a dungeon. The reason why is because Freddy doesn't like it when you use a coupon in his shop, so as soon as you buy something, he will begin to attack you as if you attacked him first. So just be careful with that, and do not bring a coupon into a dungeon. Alright, so I'm gonna grab this key, and I'm still gonna ditch those power boots. If this were a real run, you would really want to swap your hover boots with these power boots. But for the sake of demonstration, I'm gonna keep these hover boots for now. Because damage is very important in this game. Alright, so heading to the link is fighting Shadow Link is really easy. This is a really easy maneuver you can do. You can read that spin attack and loot your way out of the crypt. If you have Wisdom Torch, you can kind of wait a moment to see if there's anything good you want before heading out. There's a damage scroll at the bottom, which I do want, so I'm going to get that. And you really only want to go out of your way for items if they're close by. If they're really far, it's not really worth it. Just leave. Okay, so after you defeat Shadow Link and get the potion, do not forget to wake up Link. This has happened plenty of times, and it can happen. Alright, so now that we have a coupon, we're going to head back into the Goron shop, and now we're going to get this Goron Lucky for free. And I'm gonna actually, well, actually no, I'm not gonna buy those bomb shoes because I still want to show you something that I haven't yet. Alright, so here we're still in fixed speed mode. Also, it's important to remember that whenever you clear a dungeon, the overworld will reset. So this little area right here will no longer be in fixed beat mode when you clear a dungeon. Kakariko Crypt being the only exception. Alright, so right here I'm going to show you what's called item duping. Item duping is whenever you have a pot or a bush or whatever you can pick up, you want to pick this up with your power glove, and what you want to do is you want to like throw and move at the same time. So you're basically throwing and attacking the pot at the same time, so it drops double the items. So like this. So yeah, as you can see, I had one bomb cube before, but now I have 3. And you heard the item sound effect twice. So item duping is really important for if you want to do stuff like, say you've taken some damage and you want to heal more hearts, or if you're low on bombs and you can get double the bombs that is inside of that pot maybe. Item duping is really good for different reasons. Okay, so now that we've mapped out pretty much everything important, you can do any dungeon you want. It doesn't matter what order, as long as you feel like it's fast and more efficient for you. One important thing for taking into consideration for routing dungeons, what dungeon order, is the fact that after you clear 2 dungeons, the boss difficulty of the next 2 dungeons will be increased, so they'll have more HP. So you want to take that into consideration, what boss fight you kind of don't want to deal with more hearts. So for this reason, I'm going to be heading into Temple of Storm first. Actually, no, wait, no. While I still have these hover boots, I want to show you 2 skips. So if you have hover boots and a bomb, you can skip the first floor of this dungeon, and not the first floor. You can skip the gears entirely, so you don't have to ever like get the gears. You can just skip that. So if you place a bomb right here, down, up, and up again, and keep going up, and you will basically go past that lava and you won't take damage. Now another way you can skip this is using the Goron Locket that I told you about before. So with the Goron Locket, you don't take any damage from lava and hot coals. Combine this with the flippers and you can just swim in lava. It's that simple. Alright, so I guess while we're still here, we'll just do Gerudo Ruins. So every dungeon has an intended way to skip that first floor, and I just showed you 2 ways you can skip the first floor of this dungeon. Right here, I would just collect this bow, and I'm also on a heart and a half, so I might want to be careful a bit. It's a glass dagger I'll collect and ditch immediately. Like I said before, you really want to save your glass items for bosses and such. Alright, so whenever going into this portal as Zelda, you always want to use Nehru's Love immediately after going into the portal. Because that's why you don't know what to expect on the other side. And there could be an enemy waiting to attack you and it'll be too late. Alright, so in dungeons, also I did show those hover boots because I don't really need them anymore. So in dungeons, the second floor of every dungeon is guaranteed to have a key, because there's also a golden lock chest it's also a golden lock chest, so the game is like, it wants to make sure you're able to get that lock chest by providing a key. Or 2 keys actually, because there's an arena. Alright, so heading into this little floor right here, all you want to do is you want to go up here and reflect that first guy, go up and reflect the other 2, and it'll clear those guys out quickly, and you can and you can just go into fixed speed mode. Right there is a heart container if you want to heal up on all of your hearts and if you take a lot of damage. So right here in this first boss fight, base guitar modes, which I feel is the easiest boss fight in the game. There's a quick kill method to do this, but unfortunately I don't have it memorized on how to do it. So I'm gonna show you ways you can do it without doing a quick kill method. So I'm equipping my glass dagger here to deal more damage. So whenever you see those circles surrounding one of those guys, you want to use Neighbor's Love to reflect it back, so you won't take damage. Alright, so after clearing a boss, if you cleared a boss without taking damage or missing a beat, you get flawless rewards. And since I have a wisdom torch, I can actually see what's in these chests, but most of the time you want to check blue for a good weapon. See here, there's a base flail, in which I will go ahead and get this. But you're basically looking for a flail is also good, but most of the time you want to be looking for a rapier. And the reason why you're looking for a base weapon is I will explain later. But right now we're gonna be headed into Temple of Storms. Alright, so I have lead boots. I actually don't know why I got these lead boots. You don't want to waste money on something you're not gonna use. So if you have lead boots going to the Temple of Storms, there's guaranteed greaves right here, so you won't have to like try to look for different boots, because you know there's already some right here. Alright, so to skip this first floor, we're gonna be using 2 bomb boost methods. But before I show this, I must tell you that you must pick up those greaves before doing this, especially if you have 3 hearts. Right now I have 4, but if you have 3 hearts, it's essential that you pick up those greaves, because if you don't, then you can die with only 3 hearts. So right here, you're gonna want to place a bomb right here. Go down, up. I also forgot. Whoops, I almost forgot. Okay, get a glove. Okay, place a bomb right here. So push you to this pot. Want to pick up this pot with the glove. Go left, then go up, so it will push you to be positioned with the button. After that, just throw, skip the cutscene, and you'll be done. All these items in this chest I don't really want. I don't see a use for them, so I'm gonna skip those. And also I'm gonna dupe those hearts, so I'll have full hearts again. I'm gonna be headed into the 2nd floor of Temple of Storms, and there's a shop right below me, which is fortunate, so I can easily pick up this key. So whenever collecting keys, you always have to keep in mind how many keys do you have, because you really only need 3 keys going into Temple of Storm. Into Hyrule Castle. So whenever collecting keys, just keep in mind, do you need to collect any more keys or not? So this is kind of a bad little generation right here. Whoops. Yeah, sometimes you'll get bad generations. Also, if you have a lot of keys and you see a good weapon inside of a golden lock chest, it's more than likely it's going to be worth it if you have a lot of keys already. So I'm going to go ahead and collect that. I'm going to also switch back to my dagger. And also, if you're lost and if you don't have like a compass or a map or anything, and you're trying to quickly find your way to where the boss room is, try looking for these little borders on the wall. The boss room will always have these little borders, so if you're looking for the boss room, this is where you're going to be going. Oops. Oh, watch out for that, don't get crushed. Okay, so for this next floor, all you really gotta do is just listen to the timing of the trapdoors. And there's always going to be guaranteed bombs right here and a heart right here. And we're going to be going to Glockenspiel. So Glockenspiel is, it can be easy, it can also be hard. Like, my best thing to tell you is, the best thing I can tell you for Glockenspiel is you can spam bombs basically and clear it pretty easily, like how I'm about to do right now. What I like to do is send 3 bomb trees right there, so it'll deal damage to heads and clear out any heads that come out after losing their HP the first time. And that's a really fast way you can clear out Glockenspiel. So after this, you want to look for your flawless rewards. I like all my items I have right now. I don't want to swap off of my wisdom torch, and I also don't really want this weapon. This weapon is for Cadence only, but it's still a pretty bad weapon in general. So we're just gonna collect these diamonds and head out. Alright, so now that I have a base rapier, I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna head back right here. So behind Hyrule Castle is a secret room. You want to go on like this side right here and then go down. It's going to lead you to some stairs. Do not waste your key on this. You can just grab this, throw it right here, and you'll just easily get through here for free. So you can infuse your base weapon, or you can infuse any weapon you want to whatever you want, or you can get a diamond coupon. The only reason to go back here is to infuse. So life drain and poison damage are never worth it. You want to infuse your weapon to either multiplier based damage or 1 damage. For starting out, I would highly recommend doing titanium, because having a titanium weapon is just guaranteed 2 damage. Well, but if you're feeling more comfortable, you can do obsidian. But if you take damage and you miss a beat, then you'll go down to 1 damage. But if you keep killing enemies, then you'll have up to 3 damage. Plus a rapier will be their lunging damage will make it 4 damage. So obsidian is pretty good if you feel comfortable with it. Me personally, I usually just always go for titanium. I only ever do obsidian if I'm playing Necrodancer. Alright, so after infusing, you're gonna want to loot to wherever you want to go next. Me, I'm gonna go for I'm gonna go for Lost Woods next. So right here, the way you skip the first floor is you grab that crate and you throw it onto this button. So if you've seen it before, to where like, if you've seen any runs before to where you've seen some kind of hookshot glitch, to where you can skip the second floor entirely and go here, that's been patched out. So you can't do that anymore, unfortunately. Alright, so here we have a glass weapon inside that locked. I've never seen that before. I kind of just did it on purpose. Sometimes you want to take damage to go fast. Also, there's really no reason for me to collect that key, because I already have 5 keys, and that's pretty much enough for me to make it through the game without collecting any more keys. Alright, this is kind of an unfortunate fight. Alright, so here in this room, there's 2 different runs you can get when clearing this room. All I can tell you is just try to find ways you can efficiently do this, because sometimes that Wizrow will be a pain. Also, my torch has run out. Dang it. Okay, I'll just do this. I was trying to get that heart piece to heal up. So right here in Go Maracas, you usually for Go Maracas you want a weapon that does wide damage, and luckily I have a glass broadsword. If you have a glass broadsword or a flail, then those are pretty good weapons to use for Go Maracas. And I also have a bow. Which I'm gonna use that to take out this bush. And the reason why I'm doing that is as soon as the boss fight starts, it's just one free hit on Go Maracas. And this is kind of why you want a wide weapon for Go Maracas. Is that so you won't have to like dance around being in front of the eye. You can just easily just whack them from the side. Alright, so now that I found a good weapon and all that, I don't need to check blue chest anymore, so I'm gonna check red chest. It's gonna give me this. I mean, it's pretty ring charisma. If you don't have any other ring, then ring charisma can be good. You can save money. Alright, so for the final dungeon, which one haven't I done yet? Frozen Grotto. So for Frozen Grotto, there's different ways you can skip. Floor 1. If you have lead boots or glass slippers, you can easily just walk on this ice and skip that entirely. If you have, hold on. But an easy way to just skip this is to just grab that ice block, push this down, and you're gonna want to slide with this block. And what I'm gonna do right now is I'm gonna slide with this block, and right as when you reach right there with the block, you want to press the power glove button to cancel the sliding, and then press down, and you'll easily just get through here, and I'll get a damage boost. Yeah. So yeah, those are really easy ways to just both route dungeons and skip the first floors of them all. Like this, one thing I should note about dungeons in general is you should always well, hang on. You should learn the patterns of enemies, like especially with mini bosses, like, because whenever you learn the patterns of enemies, like you can easily just scoot by swarms, and you will know how to get past these without taking any, or if it gets to that point, as little damage as possible. Alright, so Frozen Grotto has two different screens you can have at the end. This is the puzzle room. If you're this late in the game, you really don't need to check that chest. You can just go. However, if you want to check that chest, a fast way to do this is just push this block, cancel the animation, then just go down. And it gives me a torch of reflection, which is actually good for Hyrule Castle. So I'm going to keep that instead. Oh, I didn't mean to collect that. Yeah, Deku Leaf is not very good for speed. Alright, so also I just realized I forgot to equip my Titanium Rapier. Yeah, Titanium Rapier is still good. So headed into Wiz Robo. Wiz Robo is a very annoying boss fight, especially since this recent patch to where you can no longer send bomb tubes out there and do a quick kill. You now have to do things kind of the normal way. So one thing I do is I usually have bomb shoes for this fight, but I don't have bomb shoes. But if you have a rapier, then you can easily just slide and you can just go up and take that first little hit. Alright, so whenever he gets to this point, you can reflect and deal damage back to him. That's a really fast way. That was a really fast Wiz Robo fight. And sometimes your Wiz Robo won't be as fast. And when that happens, all I can say is just have bomb shoes or your bow at the ready. And you want to have long range stuff for Wiz Robo. Alright, so I'm gonna get a glass spear. Having glass items for a Hyrule Castle is really good. And not just Hyrule Castle, but Dark World as well. Alright, so now that we've cleared everything, hopefully, I think I've gotten everything. Yeah, so after that, you can just head on over to Hyrule Castle. And whenever you're entering Hyrule Castle, do not touch the Sheikah Stone. The reason why is because, let's say you like take a ton of damage inside of Hyrule Castle and you need to heal up. That Sheikah Stone is gonna give you full hearts and stamina, so you want to keep that stone untouched. So inside of Hyrule Castle, if you don't have Bombchu, you can just send a Bombchu. That's the fastest way. If you don't have a Bombchu, you can just toss a bomb right here and throw it with your Power Glove. There's a guaranteed stamina drop right here, which I don't need. There's guaranteed hearts and bombs right here as well. And if you really need it, just a shovel right here. But my shovel's pretty good as is. So let me head into Hyrule Castle, and if you don't have 3 keys heading into Hyrule Castle, there's still that guaranteed key on the 2nd floor. Alright, I kind of did things a little bad. I collected that Wisdom Torch. I probably should have kept my Reflection Torch. I'm gonna take this Wall Master right here. Sometimes the Wall Masters will be good or bad. This time it was bad. So the reason why I wanted to keep that Reflection Torch was because of the Octavo fight. You can reflect his fireballs. Wisdom Torch generally probably wouldn't be as good heading into the end game. However, sometimes it can be good. So I don't want to say Wisdom Torch is useless in the end game. So on the final floor, the boss room will always be on a wooden floor. So whenever you're on the final floor, just remember you want to look for the boss room is going to be on a wooden floor. Also, I see that sometimes. Oh yeah, no. So that was really slow what I just did. I just wanted to pick up that current shovel region, a replacement current shovel for later. But since that was way out of the way, then it wasn't worth it. So as you can see, I've taken about 3 hearts of damage and my stamina is very low. So what I'll do is I'll go and heal up. And we're heading to and we'll head to Octavo. So onto Octavo, you're gonna want at least 5 damage. So I'm gonna equip this here and get this damage scroll. The reason why you want at least 5 damage is because his crystals, in which you'll see his crystals all have 5 HP. So whenever Octavo spawns, you can just deal 5 damage, and that's gonna be less teleports and save time. I'm gonna use my scroll right here. And watch out for those fireballs. That's why you get those. Wait. Oh, I don't have 5 damage. I thought I had 5 damage. I do not apparently. Yeah, I can't count. I'm doing 4 damage, not 5. Yeah, I'm used to Necrodancer where the glass weapons deal 4 damage. Glass weapons deal 3 damage. Alright, so for these, I timed that late, but for those little Gleeok heads, you usually want to place bombs right there, so you won't have to deal with these annoying heads flying around. Because trust me, Gleeok heads are like the most annoying thing to deal with in an octopus fight. Alright, so now that that's done, I'm going to go back to my rapier, and we're going to head into the hardest part of the game, which is Dark World. Dark World is yeah, Dark World can be pretty tricky at times. Like, I know even some experienced runners will... Oh, I have Ring of Charisma, I was about to say. Yeah, usually that heart container is 2 diamonds, but I have a Ring of Charisma, so it's 1 diamond. So, Dark World is pretty tricky, and if you die on Dark World, don't panic, don't freak out. Just calm yourself and try to just do your best. That's all I can say. If all else fails, remember the music is at least pretty good. So that was a white Dyra. White Dyras are pretty scary. If you can't recognize the pattern of the white Dyra, I don't blame you. They're pretty unpredictable. There's also like no method of finding out where the exit is. You just have to. Oh, there's one method, but it's only if it's situational. I'm gonna collect these power boots right here. And I didn't get that situation right now, but if you ever get a situation where there's a solid wall right next to the spawn, then that's where the exit is going to be. Shadow Zelda is pretty easy. All you have to do is push him into a pit. And after you complete Dark World, you just beaten the hardest part of the game. So congratulations. And now we're gonna be heading to Ganon. So Ganon is a pretty RNG fight in terms of both where he will land and the enemies that will spawn. So, and also, no matter how much damage you deal, like you'll always deal 1 damage to him, but there is an exception to this rule. Bombs will always deal 2 damage to Ganon. So I'm gonna show you a method you can use to bomb him, and with only 1 character as well. So gonna clear out these enemies. I did that wrong. I was supposed to wait. Alright, so what I did there was I basically waited for Ganon to jump, and right as he jumps, I placed the bomb right before he was getting ready to jump. And you want to reflect right before he hits you, so you'll deal that damage right back at him. And I'm gonna show you again, so you like, so. And sometimes you might get in a situation where you just bomb yourself. If that happens, then it's kind of unfortunate if that happens. Alright, so on to the final phase. I only have 1 bomb, so a fast way you can free your helpers. Also, I cannot stress this enough. If there are way too many enemies on the screen, please clear them out, because you don't want to be in a situation to where like enemies are attacking your helpers while they're on the Triforce, and you're gonna be dealing with a ton of damage, and that's not very good. But a fast way you can also free your helpers is to bomb them. Like, bombing ice will immediately destroy it, so you can just place a bomb and just go away and go free another helper, or go onto the Triforce depending on your situation. But after you do all that, you should be good to go. You've cleared the game, you've done your first speed run, so congratulations. It doesn't matter what time you get when you first clear, you know, getting, as you can see, I kind of did like a sub 50. I believe my first clear was around the sub 50 actually. I'm not sure, but it doesn't matter what time you get, because you can have a sub hour and that'll still be a pretty good run. But the thing is, if you try to go really fast, like say you know the world record is around, you know, 16 minutes. You know, if you try to hit something like around 20 minutes, like, then you're not gonna really be helping yourself, because if you're trying to go fast but you still don't know what you're doing, then you're gonna end up dying a lot in your attempt to go fast, and it's not really a good way to learn. So the best thing you can do is go at your pace and learn in-read patterns, learn boss stuff, learn techniques, and that's all I can say. And you'll eventually start getting much faster and faster times as you go on. Like, maybe push yourself. Say if you get a sub hour, and then push yourself to maybe go to sub 50, then sub 40, or if you don't feel you can go that fast, in sub 45. Just in general, you really want to learn and push yourself to. I feel like I'm repeating myself. I'm sorry. But yeah, that's all I can say. So thank you for watching. This is good luck on your runs. We hope to see you on the leaderboards, and have a good day.